When we first started in property, we initially looked at the idea of HMOs and we didn't really know much, so we kind of dismissed it because we thought it's probably complicated and full of rules. And it was only subsequently when Simon met Tracy that it became quite clear actually it was a good opportunity for us.
And we certainly, just to add to that, I guess, because of the additional rules and regulations around it, and they are more complicated, we certainly felt that we couldn't do it without some help. And I think having Tracy to help us out and guide us through setting up the HMOs really made the difference for us to actually get started and do it. Well, I'm not sure we would have done it otherwise.
We've worked on 2 projects now. Both projects have gone according to plan, which is something that's unusual in the property world, but we're very pleased with how they've gone.
Project 1 was a 5-bed HMO, and this is a 6-bed HMO. We wouldn't have done the second one if the first one hadn't been a success, which it was. So, I think we've kind of voted with our feet that we've gone on and done a second, and we're looking for the third as well. Really having that vision on what to do and how to do it that really makes the big difference and can turn something that maybe is a 5-bed HMO done badly into a 6-bed HMO that's done well, and you maximise the revenue and the space that's in there. And that's really important because it is so vital to how the project goes and to maximising your return.
So there's a component of there that's creative, very creative, because anybody can walk into a property, but not anybody can walk into a property and visualise how it will look. And I think, again, based on our experience, the good people in property are those who go in and can see what it can become and understand how that can maximise the returns for an investor. And I think that's worked really well for us, is knowing that even if we can't see something, we know that Tracy will, and that brings us a lot of benefit. But there are even fewer people who are completely honest and trustworthy and reliable. The property industry, I'd say trades generally, we've been let down on so many occasions by people, but with you, you keep your word basically. Whatever you promise to deliver, you deliver. You return phone calls, you return emails, which to us is important. And I think working with you, and we've discussed this previously, our number one person is Tracy, and it's not just because we're being filmed now. We just do feel that.
I think it's being transparent as well. So Tracy tells you what it is. There's no dressing things up, and that means you get a straight answer to a question. She also, I think, when sort of looking at a potential project, will do the figures on a very conservative basis. And if the figures work on a conservative basis, then you know that you've really limited your risk. Obviously, we try and do better on the rent, so there's always upside. If Tracy comes up with figures that make it look like it's a viable project, then you're on reasonably safe ground. Accepting that the unexpected does happen every now and again, but that aside, being, as I said sort of earlier, working as part of a team as well. So you're not just getting Tracy, you're getting the rest of the team who are equally reliable and helpful, which is very important. You can't be mucking about waiting for a builder to turn up. If Barry says he's going to be there, he's there and he gets on with it.
And I think that team basis actually is what sells it even more, really. Work with Tracy and Barry, who is the builder half of the family, and the other members of Tracy's family, because they provide, as Simon said, transparency and integrity, and you'll get really good value.
Safe pair of hands. It's worth the investment in terms of dealing with Tracy. Absolutely.